The oblique sit position, again, going back to the DNS model, is used to train proper stabilization patterns when in regards to our glute function and our core function. So there's principally two ways we will perform the oblique sit. There's what's known as low oblique sit and there's high oblique sit. So low oblique sit would be our first step in the process, first progression here. We're going to start from what's known as the low position, being establishing support on our elbow and forearm. Much like our side bridges and side planks, we're going to create a 90-degree angle here at the shoulder. We don't want to be collapsing down through our spine. We want to be lifting up, and we're going to create that intra-abdominal pressure and filling out 360 degrees through our abdominal wall. We don't want to be sucking our gut in. That's a big no-no. Again, for those of you that are new to our YouTube channel or seeing some of these exercises for the first time, underlying principle that goes in all of them is proper abdominal pressurization or bracing. We've done previous videos on that, so you can go through our YouTube channel to find those. But for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on the oblique sit. And now that we've got this established here, we're going to get our, in this case, our bottom leg, our left leg, in correct position. Now, the less hip flexion I have, the easier this is going to become. The higher my knee comes to 90 degrees of hip flexion, the more challenging the exercise becomes. So we'll want to find what's an appropriate start position where someone's going to be most successful. Once we start in a relatively low position, we can then maybe progress them upwards. So for demonstration purposes, we're going to start in a lower hip flexion position, creating pressure of this bottom knee onto the table or on the floor. And if you notice my foot, I'm lifting in the air here. I don't want to be creating an artificial sense of support by pushing the foot down. So we're going to create a little bit of what's known as supination at the foot, lifting it in the air. We'll create a little bit of a roll as if I'm kind of reaching outward and establishing support here. Once I get really good at this, okay, lifting, support, controlling down, I can pick this back leg and we can go through a little bit of gait training where we bring a little swing forward and then back, and we can reset here. Now, once we get pretty comfortable within the low position, we can transition, we can move to the high oblique sit position. Now here, we're establishing support on the hand, still want to be lifting up into the shoulder. Now the movement pattern still remains the same. We're going to create a little bit of a lean forward, so we'll get weight supporting onto the thigh and the knee, and then from there we can lift, and we can also step forward and then bring it back and sit back into the hip. Principally the difference here is when we're on the elbow and the forearm, we're going to create a little bit more spinal loading, a little bit more musculature activation that ties into our spine, whereas when we're on the hand, it's going to target our shoulder stabilization more than spinal. Still working the hip through external rotation, glute activation, and proper stabilization through that movement. So that in review would be low oblique and high oblique sit.